The history of mankind is a history of the search for greatness. We sought to build something that would challenge nature, conquer time, and remain in the memory of generations. Thus were born the 7 wonders of the world, monumental creations that became symbols of power, faith, and indomitable will. They inspired emperors and conquerors, stirred the imagination of travelers and historians, forced generations to ask themselves, how? And why? But here's the interesting thing. Of these 7 amazing structures, only one still exists today. The rest have disappeared, like footprints in the sands of time. But even if they were erased by earthquakes, wars, or fires, they left legends behind. Today we will set off on a journey in their footsteps to solve the mysteries that have worried humanity for thousands of years. So sit back, click like and subscribe to the channel. A fascinating journey through time awaits you. Among all these creations of time, there is only one structure that has survived the centuries and still towers over the desert, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Almost 4,500 years ago, when Europe did not yet know cities and America was unexplored, a grandiose structure was built on the Giza Plateau, the Pyramid of Cheops. Imagine, more than 2,300,000 stone blocks, each weighing up to 15 tons. How did they end up at such a height? How did the ancient Egyptians, lacking modern technology, lift them with amazing precision? Even in the 21st century, this task seems almost impossible. But the greatest mystery of this structure is its internal labyrinth. What is hidden behind the walls of the pyramid? Some believe that there may be another, undiscovered burial under it. But for now, it remains the only one of the 7 wonders that we can see with our own eyes. A completely different story surrounds the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which may never have existed. Imagine an oasis in the desert, an incredible cascade of gardens rising to the sky. According to legend, they were built by King Nebuchadnezzar II for his wife Amytis, who missed the green hills of her homeland. But here's the problem. Archaeologists have not found any confirmation of the existence of these gardens. Neither in Babylon nor anywhere else. Was it just a poetic invention of ancient authors? Or maybe the gardens really existed, but not where we are looking for them? Among the wonders of the world was another monument that struck with its grandeur, the statue of Zeus at Olympia. The thunder god Zeus, more than 12 meters high, sat on a throne of gold and ivory. His eyes burned with amber light, and in his hands he held the symbols of his power. Created by the brilliant Phidias in the 4th century BC, this masterpiece was both fascinating and terrifying. It is said that when the statue was being transported to Constantinople, the shadow of an ominous prophecy fell on it. Shortly after, a fire destroyed it, forever. Another grandiose structure was the Temple of Artemis in Ephesus, a structure so beautiful that it was worth traveling halfway around the world for its sake. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote that its scale amazed even experienced travelers. It was several times larger than the famous Parthenon, and its marble columns shone in the rays of the sun. But in 356 BC it was destroyed by the arsonist Herostratus, a man who sought immortal glory. And what is the most amazing thing? He succeeded. We still remember his name. Another lost wonder is the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, which became the prototype of all the mausoleums in the world. It was not just a tombstone, but a work of art. Statues, columns, horsemen on war chariots, all this towered over the city of Halicarnassus. Built in 350 BC for King Mausolus, the mausoleum stood for 16 centuries. Neither earthquakes nor wars could destroy it. Only in the 15th century did the Knights Hospitaller use its stones to build a fortress. But its name remained forever. Today every majestic tomb is called a mausoleum. No less grandiose was the Colossus of Rhodes, a bronze titan that fell into the sea. If the Statue of Liberty impresses you with its size, then imagine the Colossus of Rhodes, a 35-meter giant that stood near the harbor of the island of Rhodes. It was erected in honor of the victory over enemies, but 56 years after its completion, the grandiose idol fell during an earthquake. According to legend, its fragments remained lying for centuries, and even in this state they amazed travelers. Finally, another wonder is the Lighthouse of Alexandria, which illuminated the path of travelers of the ancient world. The tallest lighthouse of the ancient world shone on the coast of Alexandria. Its mirror reflected sunlight for tens of kilometers, and at night the fire showed the way to sailors. Having stood for more than 1,000 years, it fell after a series of earthquakes. But its echoes can still be found today, in the image of many modern lighthouses. Although most of these wonders have disappeared, their history lives on. They were not just buildings, they were symbols of the greatness of the human mind, our desire to leave a mark on the centuries. And what do you think of the 7 wonders of the world? Which of them impressed you the most? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments.